what we're talking about today is monetizing your HitTrax with Pelotero assessments. So I know we've got some college coaches on here. There's going to be some stuff in here specifically about the assessment process and how to kind of walk hitters through that experience. So it's not exclusively about making money, but I know a lot of people have invested some good money in HitTrax and want to get the most out of it. So the agenda here, we're going to talk about customer lifetime value. We're going to do some inbound and outbound marketing. We're going to talk about how to implement the Pelotero assessments and then how to track success with your processes. Number one thing that we want everybody to know is Pelotero is all about creating customer success. So we want athletes to be hitting better, and we want to support facilities and organizations in their efforts to help players get better. I was a facility owner for 10 years. I know the lifestyle. I've coached high school. I've coached college. We had teams at our facility. We know what it's like to try to leverage technology, to spend a bunch of time just collecting data and really not have a tool to use it. So we really are trying to help facilitate this whole process, try to make life easier for you and more efficient, and to use all this stuff better. Got some more people hopping in here. So first thing that I want you guys to know is you can get everything that we're talking about today, you can get started with at no cost. The HitTrax product is a business to business product, meaning your transactions are with Pelotero. If you purchase credits, they're your credits. You can do what you want with them. If the athlete is coming to you, you get to choose your price points. You get to choose how you're implementing this product. The athletes don't buy the HitTrax stuff through us directly at all. So something that I really pushed hard for was giving every athlete an opportunity to do an assessment at no cost. So every single hitter gets one complimentary HitTrax T assessment. So this literally means you can bring in every single hitter for an assessment. This can be a huge tool for you to bring people in at no cost. So just keep that in mind. Our hope is that if you're using our product and it's working well, you're going to need the efficiency to be able to keep going. So just keep that in mind. Every athlete gets one free assessment. We want you to be using this product. Every time I let somebody in, I have to re-click on it. So first thing we're going to talk about is customer lifetime value. How much is each customer worth to you? So if you do memberships, if you do, there's different types of memberships. So there's like access memberships, and then there's an instruction style membership. Those are different, where that maybe you get like a cage rental a week, or 10% off your lessons. Maybe you're doing lesson packages. What is each customer worth to you? And then the question becomes, how do you predictably get new clients? So something that we have, and this is something that if you want to have access to this page will load. If you want to have access to this, this is something that we'll be doing with people directly. And we can recreate this document, and there we go. We can recreate this document for you and help walk through this. But this is a simple customer lifetime value calculator. And what this does is, all you do is if you have a membership or whatever you're doing with these people, you can enter in their start date. If they're doing just total revenue, you can enter in total revenue. So if Sam comes in and he does a lesson plan for $800, we update that, and all of the formulas will automatically update. So in these scenarios, each customer is worth $952. If you have memberships, when I had my facility, I had kids that were members for years and years. So you could go in here and enter in your historical data and try to learn about what each customer represents to you. But the question is really, how much is each customer worth? And then the challenge is, how do you get new customers in your door? How do you take the tools that you have and scale it, build systems around it to help players get better? So in terms of marketing efforts, we have inbound marketing, which is your content, social media, word of mouth, These are things that you're doing that bring customers to you. You're attracting customers. The issue with this is it's very competitive because people that do this are shopping around. If they're looking at your stuff, they're looking at everybody's stuff. It's not very predictable in that, you could write a really good article and just nobody reads it. You could put a tweet out, awesome tweet, it gets 3 likes, whatever. It's just really hard to track and it's not predictable. The big thing here is, who do you want to attract? So if you want to attract high-level high school players, what type of content are you putting out there to attract college-bound, the showcase style player, if that's who you want to attract? If you want youth athletes, are you using images of younger hitters, videos of younger hitters, telling stories about younger hitters? So these are your inbound efforts. So some things that we're going to be doing to help you guys do this is we're going to have a content email list where we're going to send out topics to you that you can talk about in your social media. So ideally, you're going to be creating original content and then leverage tags so that you can tag your athletes or tag us. We want to help promote you guys. So if you're tagging us, we're going to repost it for you and help spread the word. But we're going to do an email list where we'll send out topics. We have a marketing calendar that we're putting together that will help you guys kind of cater your year-round messaging. We want you to tag us on your social media. We have a map, and then we have some website stuff. So let's go through that real quick. So first, pages are taking so long to load. So this is Patrick's on there. So this is we do a podcast called Pelotero Pickle each week. And what this does for Pelotero is it forces Chris and I to sit down and just talk for an hour each week in the hopes that we get 4 or 5 60-second nuggets of content that we can then use throughout the week. So we're going to be recording tomorrow this week, but these are just a simple list of topics that we're going to talk through. So we're going to talk about recent stuff. We're going to talk about, Kike Hernandez going off. The robot strike zone is a common theme. But how can you take these topics and make them relevant to your audience, make them useful? How do you extract knowledge out of these moments? So an example of that would be last night when the Red Sox pitcher came off the mound and Cora was screaming at him because he was tapping on his wrist, saying it's my time to Correa. So is that a moment that you can take and create a really powerful message around for parents and for players that they could really learn from? That, how long does it take to sit down and record stuff? An hour. You chop it up, you make some really good content. The marketing calendar. This is going to get prettied up quite a bit, but this is what we're working on for this. These pages are taking so long to load. I had to move it over so it's scaling. So we're going to set up different lists based on climate because everybody's kind of working on a different cadence. So we have cold weather, medium weather, and warm weather. I lived in New Hampshire most of my life. I'm down in Texas now. Calendars are completely different. They got high school ball starting in January, February down here. In New Hampshire, there's still snow on the ground. So it just doesn't work. In terms of tagging stuff, this is just an example. So there's a facility down here called Hit Fourth. And something that they do really well is highlight player success. So they have this template that they use when a player sets a record. They put up a picture, they have them point at it. It's just a simple system that they use that if you're tagging the player and the parent on social media, they're going to share it. It creates attention for good reasons. So this is a really simple thing that you can do with tagging. And if you tag us, if you're doing stuff that is Pelotero, tag us on it so we can repost it in stories and repost it everywhere. Just makes life easier for us. And we want to help you. Location wise, we have a map. If you've created a HitTrax account already, we ask you for your address and it populates this map automatically. So we've got facilities. We've got over 100 facilities signed up already. And when you hover over it, we can click on Finch Creek Fieldhouse and we can see what's going on. We got a link to their website. I want to talk specifically about websites right now, and we're going to use the strike zone in Vermont as an example here. But the questions about your websites, we're talking about getting new people in the door. We're creating an experience for these new customers. They don't know you, they don't trust you. How do we get them in the door? How do we make them feel comfortable? How do we help them learn what to expect when they come? So we've got the strike zone Vermont. So I'm not sure if the pop-up is going to work, but we'll try it. I have a backup plan ready if we need it. So we're going to the strike zone Vermont. The pop-up's not going to pop up. I've been on the website too many times. So we'll go strike zone Vermont on this website. So what happens when you come here? They have a pop-up that immediately, if I clicked on this button, it would call them. And if you're on a mobile phone, it would call them. But immediately they have a thing on their front page saying, hey, we have this thing going on, individualized training. Click here to sign up. They also have a dedicated page on their website for Pelotero. I'm not just trying to hype Pelotero here, but what are you trying to do to get new customers in the door? And if you have this opportunity to bring people in with a free tool, a tool that doesn't cost you anything, you've already paid for the HitTrax. This is a way to get them to understand, like, this is the workflow. When you come to our website, this is what we want you doing. So if you want help with this, if you want to go through any of these processes, at some point you should have received an email from me with my Calendly link. You can schedule time with me. We'll walk through it. We want to help you. We want to help you be more efficient with this. As part of our process, we're going through, everybody that signs up for us, we're going through, we're looking at your social media accounts. We're looking at your websites. Like, are you using Wix or WordPress or GoDaddy? We're looking at how you're building your systems and how we can help you. So do you have scheduling that's available online? Are you telling them to call you? What tools are you using to make life as easy as possible to get people in the door? So if you want help with this, we'll schedule time. We can go through it. Next, we have outbound marketing. And I think this is where most people have the best opportunity to really grow their client base. So this is when you initiate contact. So this is sending emails, making phone calls, setting meetings, going to people. When you're doing this, it's less competitive because you're creating the action. They're not necessarily shopping around. They might not even know they need you or want you, but this is an opportunity for you to introduce yourself to them. Outbound marketing is more predictable, so you can track your results. How many phone calls does it how many phone calls does it take to get new customers? What type of customer are you getting? And then you can also target bigger deals. So an example would be, are you trying to get more team rentals? Are you contacting a large organization or a small organization? What is the best type of customer you're looking for? Like we talked about earlier with the high school style player or youth players. You can take action, and you can be more selective about who you're trying to bring into your business. In terms of tactics, we have some tools for you. The key here is you got to take action. You gotta make the phone calls. When you get turned down, you just keep going. But the cool thing is when you start to learn what's working, you can double down on it and make it even better. So we have a couple worksheets that we can send out as soon as this page loads. So just a quick breakdown on what that means. And this is very, very simple. This is not rocket science. It's very simple. Write down your local leagues. Who's a contact? What are the details about them? Your local schools and your travel organizations. If you take an hour to go through this and actually write everything down, figure out who your contacts are, build your relationships, think about the funnels that you can create and the referrals that you can create by going through this process, by reaching out, by creating relationships. It'll make a huge difference. And when you look at your customer lifetime value, are you doing I want you guys doing one assessment a day. I want you guys bringing in 30 customers a month that could potentially turn into a very impactful amount of revenue for you that will make a difference in your business. You can You can bring in more help. You can help players better. You can do what you want to do, which is coach and improve players' lives, and do it with more people. It just makes everything better when you have good customers and more customers. So let's now get into the assessment process. So if you haven't seen it already, if you're not aware of what it is, the HitTrax T assessment. So what we've built in partnership with HitTrax is an automated assessment. So it's 70 swings. We're getting feedback. If you have feedback on that, please reach out. We want to hear from you. But it takes about 15 minutes. You take swings. It tells you where to put the tee. The reason we did a tee assessment is it gives us context to how the swing is moving to different parts of the zone. If we did a moving ball, we have no guarantees on what that swing is doing and where the pitches will be. So this is really looking at swing capability, and there's some capacity elements in there, but we're trying to understand how the bat's moving through the zone in different zones. And now let's talk about the new customer process. So this is where we get into systems and processes for implementing the stuff in your business. We want the assessments to make things personal, and I like to call it the what's next moment. So when I had my facility, I used to do like a 2-hour, video, diamond kinetics, K-vest. I had a body track. I'd sit there, I'd do the assessment for about an hour and a half, just collecting data. And then I'd sit there for 15 minutes, punching it all into the computer. And then the parents would always be like, all right, what's next? How do we keep going? So if you prove yourself to be an expert, if you've proven yourself to care about the player and that you can help them, you get to this, what do we do now moment. So let's look at the full process as a whole. And again, we have some workflow stuff that if you want to go through this, we have some tools, but we can help you kind of customize this process. So number one, pre-assessment email with account setup. So every hitter needs to be verified with HitTrax. We need their email address. HitTrax needs their email address. We need to know that they're a real person, real account. So this is a very simple web page that we created, and we've sent this out to some people, but this is a way to show people, hey, you're a new customer. We need you to create an account. There's two ways to do that. You can do it on the HitTrax website, which is linked on the right, or the athletes can download the HitTrax app and create their account there. So this is just a simple way. If somebody comes to your website, if they get engaged with you on a phone call, this is a follow-up. Send them an email saying, we need you to set up your HitTrax account, verify it, and then you can either email that to us or bring it in so that we can get you registered. So if you have HitTrax, you register the athlete, and then you can plug in the username and password, which is just a lot easier because then you don't have to wait for the email to be sent and verify and all this other stuff. So you get the pre-assessment. Then we have the execution of the assessment process. So this is a very, very simple script, but I think a very powerful script. So step one, you've already sent the email out to the parents. They have created their account. So the athlete's going to arrive, and we're going to give them the athlete assessment packet. So I'll show you that in a moment. First 5 minutes, the athlete's going to get warmed up. You're going to make sure their account's good, and then they're going to do their assessment. So about 15 minutes. Are you going to use a swing sensor? Highly recommend it for benchmarking purposes. We want to know what their bat speeds are. Depending on if you use Blast or Diamond Kinetics, we can log that data. Very, very soon, that data will start to influence their programming as well. So it's just a good habit to get into where you're tracking the bat speeds. We're going to be able to benchmark that against their age group. So very, very simple to do. Next, we have post-assessment data. So if you've gone through the HitTrax process, we have what's called a quick build, and we have a custom build. Quick build is you just pick how many days you're going to hit and you go. Very straightforward. You say, I'm going to hit 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. Very straightforward. The custom build is going to allow us to add post-assessment data. And as of right now, this process is standardized, but over time, this will be customizable. So if you have custom things that you want to track, if you want to start doing movement screen elements here, these are all things that can happen at the HitTrax terminal. So you can do it all in the cage, but this is where we're going to start doing our swing sensor data, some power testing. Grip strength is one that I always like to talk about with parents because I've never had a player grip never had a player hit a ball 100 without gripping at least 125 on a I can never say it, dynamometer, whatever that word is. I can never say it. But 125 is kind of like a benchmark. We can do some vertical jump testing, some med ball tosses, those sorts of things. And this is going to start to help shape their programming, but also some benchmarks. So is the athlete getting better over time? Let's go back to the script. So we're doing our testing, and then we have an opportunity to do the assessment review. So this is where we would sit down with the parent and the athlete. Ideally, we're going to be taking some video as well. We're going to review their assessment. We're going to go through their video, and then we're going to do periodization and seasons. So we've done a bad job telling you guys what this stuff does, but it's really, really cool and really powerful. So each athlete, when they complete an assessment, they get this dashboard. And coaches, you get what a coach dashboard. You don't get this game day. That's admin stuff. But you're going to get a dashboard. I'm going to change this real quick to a different location. So it's populated with athletes. So you get a coach dashboard where you can see active workouts are people that are in the building. Active programs are programs that are being done. You can see there's this facility is printing them out. So these aren't all current, but you can see this athlete should have had more workouts completed. So we can check on some adherence, any assessments that are going on, all of your athletes. So if I wanted to click on, let me see if I'm on here. So then you can just go right to the athlete's dashboard from your dashboard. So let's talk about seasons right now and periodization. This is really powerful because this is where you're going to start to show people like we have a plan for you and we're going to drive that lifetime customer value up. So over here on the right side, we have update seasons. We built this tool to help create a plan for people, and it's really powerful. It's really pretty quick too. This page is going to get cleaned up very shortly. Won't get into why it's not cleaned up, but we have 3 types of seasons that we've created. So we have a primary season, which would be like your high school season, college season, your 5 or more days on the field with a team activity. A secondary season would be like a tournament season in the summer or fall ball. And then off season is, you're not doing any team activity. This is, skill training, just primary off season. So we can build the seasons here. So we're going to do a high school season. This is going to be a primary season. And down here, we're going to say February 1st. We pick that date, and it's going to go, we'll say it's going to go till May 15th. And this is a countdown. You'll see what that is in a second. So as I click that button, you're going to see how quick this goes. What we've built immediately is now their periodization or their entire off-season plan with 4-week blocks. So we have, this is an extended phase. So there's only 7 days in that window of time. So they're going to get a special program there. But then we know for each 4-week block what their exact season is, and their training protocol will be based off of their off season or what their season is from a periodization standpoint. So we can see their high school season started February 1. So we have in-season stuff going as well. And then as you add more seasons, so if I say, all right, I got a summer season, I'm going to do summer travel ball. This is going to be a secondary season. And it's going to go, let's say June 1st to August 15th, or we'll go August 15th. We'll save that season, and now it's going to build the rest of that season. So we get it just extended off to the end. So now we're all the way through August 15th. We have an in-between phase right here. So we have 15 days in between the seasons. So it automatically builds all of that for you. And now this athlete, we know exactly what season they're in. And when we go back to their dashboard, we can see they have a countdown, 119 days until their season starts. And if I want to build a program for this player, we know they're in off season 1. So I'll build a strength program right now. Those are on the way, but I want a 4-day strength program for off season 1. And now we've got the different options. This will eventually be auto-selected based off their force velocity profile. But now I can just build a program right from this page, the same way that we build strength programs. So this dashboard becomes very, very powerful when you're sitting down with that athlete for the first time. So if you go back to the script, we can build these seasons out for them. Say, hey, it's what, October something right now, October 18th, something like that. Your season starts in March or April. We're going to build out your entire off-season plan right now. And this is your roadmap. This is what you need to be doing to get ready for your season. The hitting programs that we offer will fall in line with those templates. So, if we're in a heavy off-season phase, we might be focusing more on swing and mechanic stuff. But as we ramp up and get closer to the season, do more machine work, more breaking balls, more timing work, more different phases for different development purposes. And then at the end, we just say, all right, so we've gone through your assessment. These are your results. And then you can review the options with them. So this should be the athlete packet. Make this a little bit smaller. So we're going to pretend Juan Soto hit with us. Make it a little bigger. There we go. So we'll leave it like this. So this is something that we can provide to you, and you can customize this to make it what you need it to be. You can put your logo on there, but this is going to take you through all of the details of that assessment. So ideally, make it bigger so we can read it. This is going to take you through all the questions that parents will probably have when they start the assessment. So what is the scoring? How does this work? We're working on accuracy, exit velocity, swing direction, swing plane, back control, what it all means. You get an overall score, then you get a score by category. Then the priorities, how do priorities work? The different scores, the different priorities. Then we talk about the periodization and what they all mean. And then at the end, a very simple services available page where as the hitter is going through their assessment, the parent can be flipping through this document and saying, all right, this is what we're doing right now. This is what we're learning about. And we're giving them the tools that they need to make decisions when you go to the sit down process. So you can review the services, you can build their programs, and then you can show them how to get on the dashboard to get access to everything. So we just went through that packet. It's really about empowering them so that the parents have information that they need. It's a take home for them. They can bring it home and say, man, look at all this stuff we just did. This is really powerful. The assessment itself, if you haven't done it yet, again, it takes about 15 minutes. It's scored immediately. It's just a really efficient tool to learn what the hitter is capable of and what they need to be working on. And then we went through the dashboard. So leveraging these tools, building the seasons. I'll build a program right now. So if you haven't seen what that looks like from the website, so I'm going to click on build a new program. We're going to do a hitting program. I'll do the phases right now. So let's say a 2-day hitting program. So we're going to do tee and flips, and I'll give you guys a little sneak peek about something too. So right now that program is building. So if you've done this on HitTrax, if you do a custom build, it'll take you through a little different workflow. But right now that program is building. It's taking the program template and it's merging that with the athlete data. So now that program is built. We can go to that. And if anytime the exercise query, so the way the template works is it takes the criteria. So for this one, it said, hey, give me a warm-up drill based on certain criteria. So maybe it's your worst tee location or your worst skill, and it's going to say grab something that matches this criteria. And if there's multiple options, let's see if there's any multiples. If there's multiple options, you just click the one that you want. If there's anything on here that you don't like, you can replace it. So I can just go in here and say, I want a hitting drill. Just give me all the hitting drills. I just want to pick one. So it's going to give me a list of a lot of drills. If I say I want a swing plane drill, So right now it gave me 568 options. We're gonna do less than that, 104. So there's 144 swing plane. Let's see if this works. We'll do swing plane and exit velocity. 225. So we increased it. So we can filter down the drills and then pick one that we want. So we'll go walk up, cross behind, and just replace that. So now we just swap that out. So you're not stuck with any exercise. Whoops, I got to replace it. Change it to pitcher drill. Replace it. So now I've replaced that. So you're not stuck to any specific drill, but you have the option to just do it. So we're going to assign this workout now. And now it's going to take all of the options. So there's 2 days there, but now it's going to take those programs or take those exercises, building the program, and it's immediately delivered to the athlete. So you could do this in front of a parent and the athlete. And now we can go directly to that program. If you want, you can print it. There's a print icon. And it's a pretty clean view. So we got a pretty clean page here, 4-day program. And then we can start the program. So this one is a tee and flips. So something that we're working on. Well, first of all, we have videos. So every drill has a video, all the objectives. So the player can log into the website. Their account gets created automatically. They can log in and get access to all this. Something that we're working on that I'll say will be available as soon as possible is the workout will be built based off the equipment that you specify in your location. So maybe you have specialty equipment, you have overload, underload bats, you have pitching machines, whatever it is that is in your facility. But then it's a 2-day program. They're going to hit with you 1 day a week, but then they're going to hit at home 1 day a week. So they can go to this workout and say, hey, I'm hitting in my garage today. And the athletes can create their own exercise equipment library and then rebuild their workout to reflect what they have access to. So this will be really, really dynamic for them. Just a really, really powerful tool to get their work in. And the other thing, so we're going to see, I'll go back. So we've started this workout. Now you can see that there's an update here that it's in progress, and you'll be able to see on your dashboard that the athletes started their workouts. So the last step to this assessment process is to log your assessment results. The key here is that we want to track our success and our failure. We want to know what's working, what's not working, who are our good customers, what type of customer is driving good, consistent revenue and good lifetime customer value. So this is the second worksheet. So this is part of the customer lifetime value worksheet. And we have a very simple spreadsheet again, where we can just add players to this and track what is happening. So on the right side, on the top right, we have a service list. The lifetime value of the membership will automatically update based on your customer lifetime value from the previous page. So if Timmy does an assessment here on, what's today's date? 10/19/21. He's 18 years old, baseball player. This is a win. And then we get to pick what he did. So let's pretend he did a membership, added $1,000, and next assessment scheduled. We'll say no for the sake of this. So now we can see we have a 80% win percentage, 80% for baseball, 20% for softball. Average age is 15.4 years old, and average assessment value. So average dollar per assessment, $600. So this includes somebody that did not choose to do anything. What we found in the industry is that typically if you get somebody in your doors, if you get somebody to come to you, it's going to typically end very well. We see success rates of 90% or higher with some of these assessments. If you're bringing somebody in and demonstrating value to them, giving them a plan, showing them that you have a path laid out for them, a customized training plan for them, the opportunity to deliver on that value, especially when you're leveraging what we're offering with Pelotero, You're just laying out the whole story for this athlete and for the parents, and it makes it a lot easier for them to make a decision. Really, really powerful stuff. And then as we move forward, sustain your business, reassess, track benchmarks. This is our first assessment with HitTrax. We're working on more. There's going to be more tools that come out, whether that be bat sensors or video analysis, merging your strength and conditioning and movement screens type work with your hitting programs. Just there's a lot of stuff coming, and everything's designed to help athletes and to help businesses thrive. So have a reassessment plan. Highly recommend, if an athlete comes in for an assessment, schedule their next assessment before they leave. Just a really simple thing, get them on the schedule. And then track their benchmarks. I think I mentioned HitForth earlier, where they have these, the benchmark celebrations. It's just a really simple thing to do. If a kid posts a green number on HitTrax, they get excited about it. So leverage that opportunity. And then something you can do that's really simple is a referral bonus, or a referral commission, I guess. So one of the most powerful lines you can tell people is, hey, we're looking for more athletes like you. Like, we really appreciate who you are and how you work. Do you know anybody, any friends or teammates that might like what we offer? It's true, because you do want good customers and you want people that are going to thrive in your environment and culture, but you can give some incentive to get more people in the door. And if you go back to that customer lifecycle value, our customer lifetime value, there's just a lot of opportunity here to get more people in the door that are going to fit your system. So that is the presentation in terms of the content. We'll take questions in a minute, but first, Chris has a webinar Thursday. He's talking about getting players to hear you. It's going to be all about building relationships and working with kids in this tech first world. And then I also have another webinar. We're going to get deeper into how to scale player development and get deeper into how these smart program templates work and how to deliver and get adherence to the programs. So we're going to get on a nice cadence here with our webinars. We're trying to do one each a week, so a lot more coming. And any questions? So let me get out of here. Hopefully everything worked well. I haven't checked anything here. See if we have any. I'll stop this there and see if anybody has any questions, anything in the chat. Pull up the chat. Anybody got anything in the chat? Anybody have any questions? If you, I think there's a way to like raise your hand on here, but I forget. I haven't done that in a long time. So if anybody has any questions, I'm here to talk and see how I can help you. So,
hey, Bobby, can you hear me?
Yes.
Awesome so far. Trying to develop a business. Obviously, we've talked about this in the past. You probably don't recall who I am. We're out of South Jersey, top prospect baseball lab. Yep. Your system is phenomenal. I love the fact that it is proactive in the teaching, and baseball's changed over 180 years. It's metrics based. We need that. My question is, will this be saved, and can I rewatch it a million times so I can comprehend everything? Because my attention span is about as big as, an inch. So anyway, that was really my question. Where will this be publicized so I can revert to it in order to try to compel what you've communicated into my website and to rebuilding my program with using your assets?
Yep. So we're recording this. So I'll probably post everything in full on like a YouTube and get the link out.
Okay. Cool.
And then in terms of all the resources and everything that we're building, we're setting up our Salesforce and everything, which has been less than fun, but we'll have all those resources and everything available. Cool. Again, like I said, we really, I was in the coaching world for a long time, helping athletes. I'm transitioning into more like I want to help facilities and I want to help businesses be successful. Right. So that's my biggest role. Chris is taking on more the role of player development and the actual hitting piece of it. Right. And I'll be involved in in some of it because I can't help myself, but
Right.
I'm really focused on the business side
Passion.
of things.
So you can't get rid of your passion,
Yeah.
But,
Yep.
yeah. All
Very
right, cool.
good.
Thank you for answering that. So far, so good, man. Not that you need my judgment, but so far, so good. I really
That's
appreciate it. And as me as a person, my background is tech and IT and infrastructure, and to see these processes go in place and how you and hopefully us and your partners are going to take this to the next level is only going to make a better athlete. I mean, we're at the pinnacle of success right now. Like these guys are purebred machines, and any little fine tune and minute adjustment is just going to make them just a tiny bit better. But that little tiny bit better is what they need, to get
yeah.
to the next level. It's changed in the even the past 20 years of baseball, how the sport has changed from big fat John Kruk on first base, just going after the thing, having a beer and enjoying it, to like bred and born athletes, and now just to maximize all the potential based upon your systems, HitTrax, and of course there's a few others out there as well. Just bring it to the next level, and that's what it's all about, man. Proactive coaching and being future driven, I guess you would call it. So yeah, well, thank you.
Absolutely. You got it. I got a couple questions in the chat. So first question, will there be a phone app? That is something that we are currently working on. There's we have some developers lined up. So yeah, we've had some slight issues with, I don't even want to get into it right now. Our developer got sick with COVID, and it's I don't want to get into it right now because I'll start crying, but we're making adjustments and doing what we need to do to keep going. But app is coming, phone app is coming. We need athletes to be able to access stuff through the phone because we know that's where they are. So there's going to be access to the programs. We want to build in as much access to assessments as well. And there's going to be some video tools. So there's some really cool stuff coming in terms of phone app. The question about multiple players, we are already working on that with HitTrax. We had to get this product out and get feedback. And one of the most resounding pieces of feedback that we've gotten is multiple players, both in assessments and training programs. So we are working on that. We're working through the screens. A lot of the tech that supports it is already in place. It's just a matter of user experience and the user interface. And there's always challenges with that. I will say that we're also going to have multiple assessments. So when you get in there to do assessments, the first one that we're really focused on is a moving ball assessment, where we're going to do our best to look at timing and control. Everything that we look at there's like a capability standpoint and then a capacity standpoint. So, excuse me, looking at skill, you can look at the skill of a hitter, but also like their bat speeds, their exit velocities, their actual capacity. So both are important to understand, but they're different in terms of assessment. So multiple assessments, multiple players in assessments, multiple players in training programs. We're probably going to do a shorter version of the T assessment. As of right now, it's 70, and a lot of people have told us that it's long. Some people say it's fine. It's kind of like more people say that it's fine, but we know that having a shorter assessment, especially for younger kids, is probably more appropriate. It's more of a sample size issue where we want to make sure kids are we're getting an accurate assessment. So, Rick, that's what we're working on there. Jamie, did you want to unmute and ask your question?
Hey, thanks, Bobby. My situation might be a little different because our HitTrax is at a high school, so all of our kids get to use everything for free, and then our feeder program, our UCCC feeder program, they get to use everything for free too. So my question is more about purchasing credits. So the way that I kind of looked at it, open up Pelotero, select a player, and then if that player wants to go and buy credits, they can do like the quick purchase. So if they do that, so let's say they purchase 3 credits for $30, will those credits remain in their account, or should I just have them spend them right away? Like,
so the credits are controlled by the organization. So depending on how many athletes you're dealing with, you could bulk purchase credits and just say, hey, we've got this many credits. This is what we're going to charge for them. And then you just kind of have an inventory of credits available to use when you need them. The athletes themselves do not purchase the credits. So what I would recommend there, go ahead.
Could they though? Could they though?
Not currently. So one of the biggest challenges with building this was the payment processing and how, who's taking payments, how are we allocating, how are we keeping track of inventory. That was a big challenge in the development piece of this. So we have unlimited plans where it's more of just like a light switch. You turn it on, you can do as many as you want. We have the subscriptions where it'll replenish you each month. So those are more like facilities that do memberships, or they have teams. They have like a big group of athletes that they deal with. And then we have the bulk purchase options and the single purchase options where you're just going to buy you're going to buy an allotment of credits and just have them available to you. On the website, let me pull this up again.
I was thinking more of the single purchase. If a dad brings his kid in and he did the week 1 program and then he wants to unlock the week 2, if he could just put his debit card in there, purchase 2 credits and then spend them right away and then not save his credit card information. If that makes sense.
Yeah. I will say we're not set up for that right now. And it's something that we've talked with HitTrax about doing, but that's not the right page. Hold on. You do have a credit summary page where you can look, you have all your credits. It'll show you what you've spent your credits on. So you can go through the website and manage your payments and everything. And there's a link that you can purchase everything on the website and then use them. So the issue with one of the biggest issues with having individuals purchase stuff on the HitTrax is it's a business asset. It's the tool itself is owned by the facility. And then if you're putting credit card information into that, there's a bunch of like credit card processing stuff and privacy issues that you're running into. HitTrax doesn't allow that right now. You keep a credit card on file with them if you're doing gaming or other stuff with them. So doing it through the business or through the organization is the cleanest way to do it. You could always have just purchase the credit when they pay you, or if are you trying to just avoid taking payments altogether to you?
Kind of, just more of giving, them control of when they want to unlock their next program, or if we do bulk purchases, we don't really know, where they're going. They could be our high school kids. They could be our youth kids. They could be our alumni that come back that are playing college. So if they had the ability to just say, I'm going to spend, $30 to, unlock a program and get the next assessment. Well, it's unlocked under my account.
Yep.
And then I think there's an option that says do not save credit card information when you go into that single purchase. So I didn't know if that was a way to do that or not.
You could potentially do that. I haven't looked into that. You could always have them do that. It's not a workflow that I've considered, but I guess it would be an option. I can look into it more. I will say that as of right now, we don't let athletes register for the platform directly. Everything is through HitTrax right now. We will be unlocking the ability for athletes to register, and as we get the strength and conditioning stuff going, the athletes will be able to go in there and create their own subscriptions. So that might be a fit, and that's something that we're working on. But I guess for right now, you could try the workaround with having them pay and not saving their information. Just make sure they click don't save information.
Yeah. I know we're in a little bit of different situation than a regular facility or something like that. So that's just kind of where the workaround, because they won't let us put our school credit card on file. So
it'd
be like my personal credit card. and I don't
Yeah.
want that. So
Yep. And you can do it. You can do it through the website too. So, um, I don't know if you have the payment, the credits PDF that I sent out recently. There's a link in there, and I can send you the link. We can talk more kind of outside of this in more detail, but you can purchase credits directly to the website, so you don't need to be like at the HitTrax. So, if you purchase it on the website, it will reflect on the HitTrax unit. So
okay.
there might be ways to do that. We could potentially, it's tough for me to talk about it right now without the development piece. We could potentially have people buy credits and allocate them to the location, but I don't know how to do that right now. We can look into that though.
No worries. No worries.
All right. Mike, you want to unmute?
Yeah. Hey, man. Thanks so much for doing this stuff again for
You
us.
got it.
You know, everybody has a different situation, obviously, with their facilities and how they're trying to run it. My problem comes into I have an unmanned facility with multiple HitTrax systems in it that
Yep.
I don't necessarily want people to have access to admin. And right now, that's where Pelotero's at.
Yes. Yep. The reason that it's in the admin is because there are the payment options there. So that's why, that is why it's in that piece within the admin piece there. So we've talked to HitTrax, and I'll go to them and talk to them about it, to make it so that a player could log in. Do you have players that log in to their accounts right now, or do they just use like
Yes,
generic
and-
mode?
No, well, when you're talking about at the facility, they'll log into their own personal account.
Okay.
So and I'll actually be with HitTrax Thursday. So I've already talked to him about it, but I'll talk to him again. Yeah, because that's my big hang up on utilizing the system is that I want to do the initial assessment in one of our two in-house systems
Yep.
with a couple of our trainers, and then send them to our unmanned facility where the other HitTrax are, where they can do their workouts and everything else. So
Yeah.
I think that would be really cool if we could, make that happen.
I completely agree with you. And
Cool. I'll talk to Elena again and
Yep.
see if there's something that they can do, because that will be the main determining factor on how much I can use Pelotero, because I'm going to use it. I just want to be able to, currently using track and everything for our other athletes. We're in house doing all different kinds of things, but if somebody wants to go work on their own, I can foresee some type of membership where they do the initial assessment, and then after they do the initial assessment, they have their monthly membership at the other facility. They go over there, and then maybe they pay a monthly membership to have us program their Pelotero stuff as well, and then they're just rocking it out over at that other building and not taking up space here too.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, the short-term workaround would be to print out their workouts and still they wouldn't get the graphics and everything,
Right.
but they could still do their work. I know the experience of doing the program on the HitTrax is really engaging and really useful because they're getting that immediate feedback. That'll be something that we have to talk with HitTrax about. I know our first priority is the multiplayer assessments, multiplayer programs, and the multiple assessment options. So that's something that we talked about that very early, and with the payment piece, it made sense to go through the admin side. The one of the concerns that was brought up, which you can talk to Elaine about, is should players be able to take if they build a program at your location, should they be able to go to a different HitTrax location and log in and see their stuff? So that's one of the pieces there, where some people are more protective about their customers and don't want them. My thought was, like, if you're going to like Georgia for a tournament and you go to a HitTrax location to be able to just log in, I think that'd be really cool.
Yep.
But there's some pieces there that not everybody loves. So
Okay, great.
a lot of we've talked about a lot of stuff. But I personally like that idea. It's just a matter of roadmap and building stuff that works and building stuff that we kind of have to attack the mass market first. So
Perfect.
Are you going to Massachusetts to see HitTrax, or are you just talking to him?
Yeah, I just bought 5 more systems, so I'm actually going to pick them up on Thursday, because it's from where we're at in Ohio. It's like a 10-hour drive, and it's $5,000 to ship it. So I said,
Yeah.
let's go catch game 5 of the ALCS and pick up our HitTrax this week.
What a
So,
trip. What a trip. Good for you.
yeah,
Good
no,
for
we're
you. Tell
we're
him to
excited.
tell him to kick Pelotero some commission on that. Shoot, 5 HitTrax units.
Well, yeah, we started with 1. We've had it for 3 years, and it's been an absolutely amazing tool. But we opened up, out of necessity, a second facility that we turned into a 24-hour access facility to where it's unmanned. And
Yep.
so we thought, hey, let's give a run and see what we can do by providing, all the equipment that anybody could ever imagine to need in a hitting environment that's 24 hours a day, with the proper pitching machines, real baseballs, softball machines, HitTrax systems. We can, do all that stuff, because our training is starting to build up, and it's hard to have everybody here at the same time, especially when you have fielders and pitchers and hitters, so it's exciting. We'll see how it works. The worst case scenario, if it doesn't work, we can sell a system or 2, and go from there. But
well, good for you. That's I grew up in New Hampshire, and I think I told you this when we did our initial call. Had family out in Akron, our Youngstown, Warren, and family up in Parma. So I'm familiar with that.
Heck yeah.
The drive across PA. I'm very
awesome. I really love your system. You guys are doing an amazing job. I know you're trying to work around all the other things, but I have already mentioned that stuff to them, and I just see this going in a different way than maybe a lot of people do. I think this is on the tip of the iceberg, especially when you consider what the Mustard app is able to do now, and get, instantly, record stuff and send back, here's 6 drills that you can do, and like now all of a sudden the training is being incorporated right into the assessment. It's a natural progression that's going really well. So kudos to you guys, and thanks for taking the time, and send me every little bit of detail that you can, especially those Excel sheets and stuff that you had, because those are awesome. I appreciate you.
You got it.
All right, bye now.
Take care. Jamie, yes, ABCA. We are planning on going. Assuming Mayor Lightfoot doesn't shut down the city, despite her going without a mask in a public place recently. I don't know what's going on with Chicago, but our plan is to be there and partake in it. We chose not to get a booth this year, but we'll be around the HitTrax booth quite a bit. We wanted to be mobile again this year, and just be able to move around and sit down with people. We'll probably set up like a Calendly or something to schedule sit downs and meet with people. So anybody else have any questions? Still got a bunch of people in here. More than willing to stick around if we have questions, but not too inclined to just sit here and talk to myself. So any other questions? Feel free to do the chat or just unmute yourself and speak up. Anybody got anything?
No, but you could do this every week. Keep us going, keep us informed, beta, whatever.
That is very much the plan. So I'm going to be doing more of the business talks. Chris is going to be doing more of like the hitting talks. We have a couple of resources. So I recently moved all of my like web content to a new website called Swings Above Replacement. So we're going to be, everybody that signs up and that's becomes a customer, we're going to give access to like full access to Swings Above Replacement. We have a simple, it's called Glide. It's a way to convert like Google Sheets into an app. So it has all the drills on there. So if you have a player who's printed out their workout, they can pull up the drills on their phone. So it's a really simple tool that if you're not doing everything on the HitTrax, you'll have that. So
can you push us those links?
Yeah, we'll get those out to you as soon as they're ready
Awesome.
to go. We'll have like various sign up stuff for it. But
awesome.
Thank you. My purpose in saying that is we're just really committed to providing resources and giving you guys tools that you need.
And that's what everyone needs. I mean, in this culture, the more the merrier. I have 4 kids, and one of my kids has dual teaching environments, because you learn more. One person may not understand something, but the other teacher may be able to contribute where that person lacked. So the more the merrier. So the more that you can, develop that and get not just your word out, but get everyone's word out in what you're trying to achieve. It's so much better. I mean, whatever.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Thanks.
It's something we're very committed to. And
Yeah.
we, the platform we launched it as like a HitTrax product, but our platform in general is very, very powerful. And
Box platform.
the builder of exercises. If you've ever
Right.
watched Silicon Valley, it's a joke. It's a big joke.
It's kind of like that.
Gavin Belson.
Is that your next venture in Netflix film?
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's an acronym for builder of exercises, and the way that works, and the incorporation of the periodization to make it easy to program athletes. It's really like, I lived it. So I know what it's like to try to use the technology and try to make it all work, and how difficult it can be.
A lot of overwhelming things, everybody wants to overcoach, and sadly that doesn't always work. If a kid's successful with a shitty swing, then, let them run with a shitty swing. But there's a lot of, not saying you or whomever, but there's a lot of overcoaching going on. But if there's a foundation where you can start from, and then get people to tweak those little tiny things to get them more successful, that's what I'm all about. Oh yeah, drop your elbow, do this, twist that. It's like, shut up, let the kid just do what he wants to do and have fun. And yeah, it may not look pretty. He's 8. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
One thing I love about the doing the programs on the HitTrax is the kids will make adjustments to their swings without even thinking about it, because the outcome goal, the external focus of the drills, allows them to just, I hit it over there, hit it in the air, get that thumbs up.
Well, here's where I need to adjust that or modify this to do this. And as learning, kids and people learn in 3 different methods. It's kinesthetics, it's hands-on, it's let me take it apart and then put it back together, and I learned from that. And then there's kids that can't do that process, and they're the ones that need to be told how to do it, and they're verbally acuted. So when you say, hey, I need you to do this, I need you to, connect or whatever it may be, okay, I got it. And then there's other kids that you can say that to, and they just look hollow, like they have no clue. So you have to physically modify them and put their elbows down and do that. And then, it's just, you got to find which kid works best for which routine. But I love the fact that you guys provide videos, and then, a lot of the teaching is done in a hybrid of kinesthetics or hands-on or verbal and teaching, and all these acute little things. And like I said, when I coach little kids, I have to find, like, does this kid want to be part of my program, or does his parent want him to be part of my program? Does this kid have passion to do this? Is he going to willingly learn on his own and do the drills successfully on his own in front of the bathroom mirror, whatever? So yeah, it's cool to, have that video feedback where they can at least revert to it and then rewind it and replay it and rewind it and replay it, and then build upon that, because you can only be with the coach for an hour, before your time's up or whatever, maybe a half-hour session or whatever. So to have them see those videos at home, it's just another value in your program, not you, whoever develops and works with your program.
Yeah. One of the biggest pieces of feedback we've heard is people having players take more control of their work and being more independent in their work.
Be accountable, right?
Exactly. They have the tools they need to get their work in, and they just get after it. They're more directed in their efforts. They're more focused, and that's fantastic to hear. I think that's one of the biggest turning points in an athlete's career, is when they choose to work for themselves and choose to focus every rep. It's such a
that comes about, difference. I guess, loving you right before puberty. I think that's when they become more.
If like, you can get that at 11, I think you're in great shape.
Yeah,
a lot of kids never get it. There's professional players that don't have that.
Big field, when it drops off at the big field, there's such a decline in, I don't want to play baseball anymore. But you have a skill set. You just need to be fine-tuned. It's whatever.
Yep.
Thanks, man.
You got it. Anybody else? I think there's no more questions coming through the chat. You can thank Patrick's on the call. He helped with all the videos, so I'm sure he's glad to hear that. Anybody else? We got Pete, Rick. You guys got anything? I think that's it. Very good. Well, I'm going to wrap this up then, unless somebody shoots a thing real quick. Yes, Pete, the recording will be shared. I got to do some edits with it, but I'll get it up on YouTube probably tonight. So it'll be available, and I'll get all these resources together and get them out. So you got it. Very good. All right. I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you everybody for being here. I think a lot of people have signed off already, but we'll get this out and keep building.